Like, even if I missed a headshot and I know I hit him twice, I still just avoid sprinting because even if he's, let's say, mounted to the spotlight tower and then you start sprinting, he'll hear that and call it.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So we're recording, getting ready.
All right, you got this, man. Just let it loose.
All right. What's going on, guys? One Cool Man XOF here, and today I'll be running Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. This will be a full Game Plus run, which means I can use New Game Plus items. This will be all 7 missions, including the DLC, well, is it a DLC? It's kind of a DLC. Deja Vu and Jamais Vu, but either way, it's going to be on normal difficulty, no reflex, stealth, no kills. Today, joining me today on co-commentary will be Joseph Joestar, if he wants to introduce himself.
Hello, I'm Joseph Joestar 316, and like Coleman said, he'll be running the stealth no kills category, which I'm also a runner of that, and we've been trading world records in this for the past like 5 to 6 months. Coleman also comes from a extensive background of any percent, where I was more introduced in the stealth no kills category itself. But without further ado, Coleman, if you're ready, take it away.
All right, here we go in 3, 2, 1, go. This is actually my first speedrun game ever, so I think this is like 6 years old by now.
Man, imagine that, huh?
I think so.
Yeah, I think this came out in 2014, and then Phantom Pain was the following year.
Yeah, yeah. So here immediately I need to start sprinting as fast as possible, because if I don't, then I will get spotted by this guy on the light tower. This is a very linear path. It looks a lot easier than it is. I'm going to do a quick crouch right there. That way I start walking. He won't hear my footsteps. That way I can get by him. I use a little bit of manipulation here, and it's not working because this guy in the light tower likes to be a butt sometimes. But that's okay. I have it mapped out. Like I was saying earlier, it's been about 6 years, so hopefully I can showcase that I know what I'm doing here. But yeah, so now we're gonna head out here to the helipad. Again, this whole game revolves around a very linear, straightforward path. And what I mean by that is that, like, we're very carefully taking the lines that we know to take, or else we'll be spotted. Like, just going off the line, going off course just a tiny bit can get you caught. But yeah, I'm going to take out these 4 guards on the heliport because that's where we're going to be going here soon. Hold the guy up in between the fans. Take out the security cam. I'm going to shoot the back wall for a distraction here. For further distraction, I'm going to take the guy out in the far back, and then I'm going to run up and hold all these guys up because I cannot go and rescue Paz until everyone is cleared or gone from this area. Right here, I'm going to use a flare grenade as a distraction to distract these 2 guys and run and hold them up right in front of their faces. Now you see when I'm navigating up the steps that I'm using aim because it actually works move faster doing that. I'm a little late, but I'm also if you want to talk about the glitch that I'm doing right here, Joe, you're more than welcome to. Put a little bit of focus into the game.
All right, absolutely. So what you're seeing here is the weightless glitch, which if you go through a door while carrying a prisoner, and as you open the door and reload your handgun and sprint, the game doesn't know how to prioritize that action at the same time as opening the doors. So in this case, you gain full speed sprint, despite the fact that you're carrying Paz on your back, and because you're in that weightless glitch state, you can instantly load prisoners into Morpho, our helicopter, without seeing any loading animation, which is essential for getting out of there quickly, as opposed to a more traditional loading of prisoners if you were not in the weightless glitch.
You want to explain the explosive barrel?
Sure. So as I was just finishing that, so you'll notice that Coolman, you know, quote-unquote killed the guard as he bailed out of the tank, which is meant for a distraction, but detonating barrels with guards next to them is counted as an environmental kill. It doesn't penalize against you in the scorecard for the mission when you actually exfiltrate. And you'll be seeing the barrel usage quite a bit throughout the run. And what you're seeing here is, I think,
What in the heck is going? Where is he?
I think he might have like pushed back. So what you just saw there was sometimes the guard on the cliffside area there.
I cannot believe we didn't fall off.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about that good luck RNG on a submission, right?
Yeah, wow.
But yeah, so RNG is a little bit of the nemesis with running this game, and that guard in particular is one I personally despise whenever I run this mission. Because what you're trying to do is get an optimal situation where he is contested by a grenade or he's on the radio, which is gonna not allow him to push Morpho on your way out. But you know, despite that little tumble, I mean, that wasn't too bad of a mission.
Yeah, that guy on the cliff there, so, like, when you seen that I blew up the barrel to, quote-unquote, I guess not kill, but take the guy out. Either way, I threw the flare grenade, for one, to keep the chopper down, or to call the chopper in that position, and two, to distract the guard that is up on that hill. And for whatever reason, like after I rescue Chico, if you hear engage, like you can hear Morpho engage the enemy, and I heard him engage the enemy, but for whatever reason the guy wasn't there. So I got confused. I tried to halt back quickly because usually the guy is right, if he's not down on the cliff, he's up on the cliff above and he'll spot you immediately. So that's why I did that quick turn, and I kind of panicked and almost dropped Chico out into the ocean.
Yeah, and I guess one other detail before he gets underway with the next mission is that he routed from the beginning of the game for pause to Chico rather than the reverse, and that's only because it's the way the category is currently routed. It's faster. You save about a minute to a minute and a half of game time for doing it that way. You also skip cutscenes you would normally get for loading Chico into the helicopter first. As well as the fact that every time you reach a checkpoint within the mission, guards' patrol patterns will change, and by doing it that way, you actually get more of an optimal path to go from the beginning to pause, and then likewise to Chico to finish the mission. So now begins the first of several side ops. What he just did there was the main mission entitled Ground Zero. So now he's just doing side ops missions where we're instructed to take out two of these targets. It's Blotz and Palitz. And despite being stealth no kills, there's actually a unique way of getting away with murder here, if you would. So he's going to take it a little bit safe here. Movement here is essential to get here up to this spot as fast as you can.
Yeah, I bumped into the wall there. He put himself against the wall, so there was no way. Normally I would just run into this position, but I messed that up. So now, if you want to explain how we're killing these guys, but not killing these guys.
Yeah, because, I mean, despite what you're seeing here, what he's going to try to do is set up a condition where he's going to wound both targets by shooting them in the arm or the shoulder. And what this is going to do is, because he shot both targets while they're bleeding out and then triggers a checkpoint, what that's going to do is spawn them out, which I think he's going to give another shot here. But what this is going to do is allow both targets to bleed out, but the checkpoint will essentially spawn them out of the mission. And just like the barrel in the first mission he did, it's gonna be killing them without really being penalized for killing them.
Dude, there's like so much that goes into this mission that you do not realize within, what, 50 to a minute. 50 seconds to a minute. Like, there is so much stuff that can go wrong and so much stuff that can just, just go wrong, I guess.
Oh yeah, you take nothing for granted when you run this category, let me tell you. But again, so what he's going to do is place the smoke, and what that's going to do is cover his position while he's firing off both rounds so that the guards in the area will not react to him as he's taking the shots.
So what happened last time was that I got caught by the guy that was up on the cliff. I ran too early. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but real quick, I'm going to go ahead and what I did was wound these guys, so now I have to zoom into the draw-in areas. That way they draw into the map, and when they draw into the map, it's an automatic kill. Because when it went into the checkpoint, they were bleeding out, and there's no way to save, and like, an enemy can't be saved once they start bleeding out, so pretty much the game just scripts it down as them being, like, killed. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, absolutely, it's no problem at all. And then just like as you can see on the scorecard, 0 kills despite the fact. Well, wait a minute, I just saw you shoot both those guys. What just happened?
I kind of like that because it does make for like very cool optimizations and runs. And like at first the runs weren't like this, and you know, the tricks were discovered later. But when we figured them out, man, then it really got fun. And then you're just like, okay, well, what other, because in TPP, the Phantom Pain, the continuation of this, is when it gets really, really good.
I remember doing a first draft of, you know, routing this category, and when you show me that trick with sniping both the targets like that, it's like, man, dude, that blew my mind.
Yeah, so this one is kind of like an auto-scroller, and I do switch over to keyboard and mouse. I didn't used to, but I'm switching over to keyboard and mouse for this mission, if I remember how to do this. And this is because it is actually extremely hard to take shots on this chopper. Precise shots. I mean, it's easy to take shots and miss, but as for like taking shots and actually hitting your target, it can be a little tough. So I actually switched, since I'm on PC now, because I started on console. I didn't mention that. I started on console when I played this back in 2014 on PS4. And I recently got a PC like last year, so why not have an excuse to use keyboard and mouse? You know?
But yeah, this is in Coolman's defense, you know, with this particular mission, aiming with the Uragan pistol, which is our go-to weapon for stealth no kills, it is very, very difficult to line up these shots, you know, whether if it's on PC or controller, because you're trying to anticipate and lead the shots while Morpho himself is moving. And the important thing with this mission, which I'm glad I'm getting into this now that you're actually doing it, is the whole idea is to take these guards out as you see them as soon as possible, not just to be only efficient, but Morpho's speed is actually tied to the fact that there's guards around you. So if you take them out ahead of time, Morpho does not slow down, and you gradually gain speed over the mission, which I think, if I remember correctly, could probably save you quite a few seconds over the course of the mission. So again, you're just going to see him take out these guards as he sees them. It could be a little tricky here because, again, Morpho's trying to turn in as you're leading up the shots. So having a little bit of difficulty getting the hits here. But as you get to this point where Morpho steadies up, gets a little bit easier. And then what you just saw there was he shot through this tree along with the electric pole there. And that's just because we anticipate guard spawns per script. And so if you aim quickly enough, you can actually take out the guard before they move. And then again, you're seeing them utilize blowing up the barrels for a free kill, but not really a kill. Man, I just can't believe you. I mean, see, this is a little thing between Coleman and myself where there's these Moai statues that are a reference Easter egg to the classic Metal Gear Solid games. And whenever I run this game, I tend to, you know, admire them while Coleman tends to shoot them on sight. I don't know, I guess maybe it's just a thing to just kind of, you know, trigger me, I guess, whenever I see him run this game and then he sees me not blow them up. It's a little fun thing. It doesn't really do anything against, you know, the mission timing. There's actually a trial run category, which is, you know, what's the fastest time you could do to blow up all the statues. I believe there's like 4 of them. I don't remember exactly, but again, you're just seeing him take out these guards as you can see them. And then a little fun fact with this truck is if you aim it just right at the right timing, you can actually take out the driver in one shot, which is shooting through both the side window of the truck and hitting the driver, which is, I don't know what your opinion on this, Coleman, but for me, it's very, very difficult. I'm lucky to get it maybe once or twice, you know, like out of every like 10 attempts. Yeah, like to try to get like the god shot on that driver.
Oh, you mean why he's coming in?
Oh no, like
just not like, busting the glass?
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be difficult, but like got him.
Wow, that was a really nice shot, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one of the Jeep. It was a little bit late, but it was just like bam.
I was trying to get it adjusted here. Got that guy.
Yes. So we're trying to escort our friend out, you know, again, just giving him cover fire, and again, Yeah, the Oregon is by far probably one of the most aggravating weapons to try to work with, but nicely done. Alright, so as our operative friend makes his way to the LZ, Coleman is just taking out these guards as he sees them.
We were tearing it.
That was
tearing it up, dude.
Shot. I mean, I often forget at times that this is a pistol, but you shoot it as far as you would almost like a rifle.
Right.
And
plus, we should probably mention, like, not to gloat a little bit, but we should gloat a little bit. Like the bullet drop and weapon sway and the helicopter. Like, there's so many things going into you missing these shots. So when you land even just one shot, like, people are proud of that.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
Like, there's people that do not run this or use this gun at all. So, like, because it's very hard, and I don't blame them. But being the speedrunner, we have to, and doing stealth, no skill. I mean, we got to do what we got to do.
I mean, the beauty of this mission over the other 6 is that this mission, thankfully, is not stealth focused, so you don't have to worry about being detected, because the whole encounter with this mission is that they know that you're there, but rather the big thing is avoiding kills, which despite what you see actually is feasible here in a few places, which is going to be coming up soon as he makes his way down.
And you may wonder, like, why did we include that? And I'm actually switching to controller right here because I'm not that good at keyboard and mouse. But you may be wondering, like, why did we include this mission if it's already an alert? And the reason for that is because there's still the kill factor, right? So there's still a challenge here. And to be able to do this mission without killing anybody can be challenging sometimes. Okay. So I use a little trick there as well. You can actually, I don't know how to describe it other than just, it's kind of like a cooldown between grenades and shots and stuff like that. And if you time it right, you can actually combine, or not combine, but what would you call it? Where you roll the damage into one. What is it called?
Like, I would say, like, you're just staggering your damage, because the tanks take a certain amount of hits, you know, whether if it's from a rocket launcher, grenade, and if you time it well enough where you're actually stacking the damage of your grenades along
stacking
with your
damage, that's what I was thinking about.
Yeah. And so that tank shows up when you actually take out all the guards, or rather when you take out the guards along with reaching where our operative crash into the wall, and because we know where the tank is going to show up, he just preemptively throws the grenades to stack up the total damage amount, which would be finished off with the rocket launcher, which, speaking of, we're using it again to take out this helicopter, and you notice that he's aiming for the tail rotor of the helicopter itself because he's trying to avoid killing the guard on the side window there, the side door, because despite what you see here, despite the fact that he just blew up the helicopter and our passenger guy fell to the ground, I mean, trust me, he is certainly not dead.
Where'd he go?
I think he might have gone down a little bit further down to, like, your left, but it's a little bit hard to tell. But yeah, I'm sure he's in there somewhere.
I never find him, but you always look at him. I don't know where he is.
I mean, I do that because people just don't believe me when I say that when that chopper goes down that it doesn't count as a kill, and they're like, wait a minute, I don't believe you, and I just look at the guy to verify. It's like, yeah, he's breathing, sort of. But very nicely done in the chopper, and he takes it out at a specific timing, which is something to add, which is all for just optimization, you know, so you get like a fast landing exit. But man, let's take a look at this guy. I mean, he kind of looks familiar.
Who's this excellent driver that we got to escort?
I just feel like I've seen him before.
Snake.
Oh my god.
It is, isn't it? What's he got to say? What's he think about our performance?
That was perfect.
My god, the man himself. My mind just got blown away.
Well, thank you, Mr. Kojima. It was far from perfect, but thank you.
Yeah, it's just another reference throughout past games where Hideo Kojima, puts himself into the game as an Easter egg. Whether if it's the Hideo screen in MGS1 or in Peace Walker, where you can actually recruit him as an operative for your mother base. It's always like that little touch that you appreciate in games like this.
Yeah,
but
it started since Portable Ops, maybe? Was he in Portable Ops? Or was it Peace Walker? It's only Peace Walker, right?
I don't remember exactly in Peace Walker or in Portable Ops, but I know in Peace Walker there's a cutscene with a bunch of trucks where you have to identify the one that you were tailing, and he's in one of them. But that's for trivia on another occasion. But now coming up is the next side mission, which is going to be acquiring an intel tape. Except, we're trying to be fast about this because there's actually 2 different tapes you can acquire here. There's the legit cassette tape, which is held by the operative that we're supposed to meet up with, but since we're speedrunning, we're going to go for the fake cassette tape, which the game doesn't really mind which one you go after. So for speedrunning purposes, we're just going to make our way to the fake tape. So what he's going to do here first is throw a flare grenade, because like in the first mission, guards react really weird when they see flares. So in this case, this guy's just going to hit the dirt. He's going to hold him up, which is going to leave him there, buying him enough time to acquire the smokes, which is going to be essential for this mission. And at the same time, you see him fire off a ricochet round into the wall, which is going to cause a pair of guards to, somewhat panic and hold in place. Fire off another warning shot here against that wall, which is going to cause another guard patrolling just underneath him to stop in place. And again, manipulation and movement is really key throughout this run, just like in the first mission. So again, Morpho is coming in, not as our exit, but he's going to act as a distraction. He's going to focus all the guards' attention on him and not us. And what you're going to see here is he's going to throw a smoke grenade into the Jeep. And he's turning on the NVG so he can see where he's going. And what this is going to do is provide him cover from a distance, where guards, as long as they're not looking directly at him too close by, he'll act as invisible to them. But man, I got to tell you, that was really well done, actually.
Yeah.
That truck was...
The first flare grenade, because there's a lot to talk about, but the first flare grenade that you've seen me throw was to actually get the chopper there faster than normal. So we couldn't exactly call him. So like by using the flare grenades, not only do we use it for a distraction the second time, but we're also using it to redirect him to the LZ. So we didn't mention before, which we're going to use in the next mission, actually, so this lines up perfect. If you call Morpho to the middle LZ, which is a hot zone, when you see the red ring, it declares it as a unsafe zone, which they call a hot zone in here. He actually goes to the middle. That's the fastest LZ he responds to. So by calling him there and then redirecting him somewhere else, you still get that fast response time, I mean. Oh boy, this one, I'll let you talk about all this.
Yes.
Because I gotta concentrate on this.
Yeah, there's lots to talk about throughout this run, because it's so, like, action-packed, it's hard to, cover it all, but I'll do my best. But like he said, the landing zone behavior with Morpho's speed is important to understand, and he's going to use it again here by calling him in the middle to start, which is the fastest landing zone. But what you're going to see him do here is blow up 3 of these turrets, which the first one he's going to use our standard rocket launcher to fire the turret in the middle of the base. It's openly undefended, I guess, if you want to call it that. There's nobody nearby, so you don't have to risk killing anyone by accident. After that, he's going to shoot underneath the truck using our assault rifle, which is exclusive to New Game Plus with the scope, but ever so carefully aiming underneath while detonating the barrel, which is enough to blow up the turret and the guard next to it, which is still safe. And before I could finish, he blew up the last turret with the grenade launcher. And then in the middle of all of that, he set up a C4 detonation. I'm thinking of MGS3 for a moment. So he planted 3 C4 explosives, which is at the minimum to blow up the tank. Sometimes I'll plant 4 if I ever feel a little bit jumpy that 3 is not enough. Which again is just part of that preemptive understanding that when you detonate and destroy 3 of the turrets, the tank shows up at that particular spot at that particular time. And while Morpho is coming in from the middle, he redirects him to the lower half of the island, which is more of a safe landing zone. But again, like he mentioned, you're using the hot LZ in the middle to give him a fast arrival time, and then redirecting him to where he is so he can actually exit. But yeah, it's it's kind of hard to keep up with the run sometimes.
Dude,
let alone run it.
Like, that's why I love this run. Like, there's just within 10 seconds, there's like a whole chapter of something to talk about. Hell, a whole book. Like, you could literally, like, what's great about this run is like I started off individually, right, ILs, and doing like the time trials, the leaderboards that they have on here. So that's like why I know all the specifics, like the what were the statues called, like them things and stuff. But real quick, right here, I'm going to use the gray fox suit because it is faster. But if you want to GDQ, use that as a, what is it, a sub-incentive or incentive?
It would just be a potential incentive where we can select either the regular Big Boss model character skin, the Metal Gear Solid 1 Solid Snake, and the Gray Fox skin, which the only difference between that skin and the other two is the movement speed.
Yeah.
But you also do get like an environmental change, regardless if you use Gray Fox or Metal Gear Solid 1 Snake, which he is starting the first of two. I guess I would refer to them as like extra ops, but originally when this game was released, they were exclusive DLC based on the platform it was released on. But the reason for Gray Fox skin here is you get the full movement speed benefit as if you were running as Raiden, as used in Jamevu, which is the mission after this. So
we did get spotted. So a way to rule out an alert on your final result screen, the way to eliminate that alert is to hit a checkpoint. So we had to hit a checkpoint right there because we did get caught. It's a very specific line, again, like everything in this game, and we just so happened to get caught by the guy at the light tower. So we're going to use a little glitch here. Not really any reason to go into it too specifically, other than there's a vent glitch and you can actually stand up in the vent and dive into the finishing line as opposed to just doing a slow crawl. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I felt it was important to explain that when you checkpoint that it does reset the alert. So that is like, for anyone that's interested in running this game, like, there is ways to, you know, not be, it seems like a headache the way that we're playing it, and to get it down, like, you know, like crossing all the T's and dotting the I's, it is a pain, but it is a work in progress, and I don't know what I'm saying. It's a process, man, and like,
yeah, I mean, it's a good backup strat in the event you get caught by the spotlight, and checkpoints will help clear out the alert at the cost of RTA time you would lose on reloading it. But yeah, the vent glitch, I think, saves you about like 3 to 4 seconds as opposed to normally crawling. It's a very neat trick. Again, it blew my mind when I saw it done. So now we're up to the final mission, which is now the other extra side op, which is now Jamevu. I mean, Big Boss has been running this whole time, so he kind of needs a break. So Ryan's going to step in, which is now going to be shown as the Raiden from Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, whereas the last mission was referencing Metal Gear Solid 1. So Raiden, you know, kind of feels really confident. You know, he's like, you know, I don't need my blade. I don't need to use any of my fancy tricks that I did in Revengeance. So he's just gonna, you know, use our standard weaponry, despite the fact that it's kind of like a weird crossover of Revengeance to Ground Zeroes. But that was their, I guess their concept at the time was to give that cross-reference to other games. So what he's gonna do here is, because again we memorized where the Snatchers are, our objective is to kill the Snatchers hiding amongst real Marines. And since it's stealth kill kills, killing the Snatchers is okay since it's intended, but you do not want to kill the real guards. So he uses, oh wow, that was a really funky grenade there, but I guess you got it.
That's a restart.
Yeah, I would definitely restart that, but
we're still on good time. I mean, if we did like an estimate of 32 minutes, which you suggested, like, it could still, I think we could still get about a 31 minute right here. Maybe below.
Yeah, so I guess maybe this restart I can kind of cover it again, because again, this, you know, the game kind of outpaces this, you know, faster than I could talk. But
for sure.
But yeah, the objective is to take out snatchers hiding amongst real guards, and because he memorizes where the snatchers are, and ooh, that was unlucky. So we kill the snatchers where they are, but you trank the guards that are not snatchers. But there is one guard in particular where you can get away with using a barrel, which is, again, the ongoing theme of, you know, using barrels to your advantage. So, alright, so third time's the charm. I mean, you got this.
Oh, for sure. And if you want to explain why to restart the mission as opposed to checkpointing for this one.
Oh, sure. So, in the last mission, the checkpoints do come in handy as a backup in the event of where the checkpoint is, but in this particular one, or even some other missions, checkpointing can actually be a hindrance because not of trying to take out an alert that happened by accident, but it's where it places you. So in this particular mission, you want to avoid checkpointing because guards' patrol patterns can be moved around severely. Some guards will arrive late, depending on where you are in that mission. So ideally, you know, apart from just being optimal without having to have a reset of any kind, but guard spawns and patrol behavior would get heavily impacted, especially when you get to the last two, which he's going to make his way to that very soon. So he's going to throw this grenade around this boiler tank. I'm not sure what they are actually, but that's just a safer way of trying to take care of them rather than try to shoot them and, you know, exposing an alert to yourself potentially. And so one other thing I forgot to mention as he was making his way in the base was he tranked a guard, you know, while he was making his way in with a single shot, and we're just taking advantage of the fact that the guard's just going to get tranked on his own as he makes his way through the base. And again, because he memorizes where the snatcher is, he's just going to shoot out the passenger, and the driver kind of...
He is weird.
I think he's a fan. I think he's a fan. He's like, oh my god, is that cool, man? I need to get his autograph.
I've never seen that before. Why is he running at me?
I think he heard that you were doing a GDQ submission. He just wanted to shake your hand.
He just had to get his...
You know, he got his 10 seconds of fame, you know,
Yeah.
but it's... So now that completes what I refer to as like phase 1 of the mission. And phase 2 is when Morpho arrives and now becomes a Snatcher Gauntlet scenario where you're going to get waves of Snatcher guards coming in, and he's going to be using the rocket launcher while being posted on top of this guard tower as a very convenient vantage point, because as that door opens, he's going to take advantage of the fact that guards will spawn in there and taking them out ahead of time, and at the same time detonate a C4 that he planted before this started, which is, again, trying to take out a guard as they spawn in, because big thing here is knowing where the spawns are and when you can, you know, utilize them. And so as he gets to that point, he's going to fire 2 rounds into that helicopter. It's very dangerous to go for 3 because the timing of when that chopper takes a few hits to when the next waves come in is just not worth it. So now what he's going to do here is going to shoot behind the building, and... Oh! Okay, so that was unfortunate, but what you can actually do there... Yeah, it happens, but what you can actually do there is shoot behind the building and aim for, like, the top, you know, main rotor blade, and what that allows you to do is get a quicker chopper kill, and it crashes to the ground faster, as opposed to ascending from behind the building and then taking a longer sequence to crash. But yeah, without too much hurdles there, I mean, that was you know, fairly decent mission, and you know, I was happy to co-commentate along with you.
I appreciate it, man. We'll probably bump up the time to 35 minutes. Just in case, estimate time, I'll probably bump it up to 35 minutes. You'll see it when I submit it.
But yeah, I mean, there's lots of things that can happen in this run, but I guess before I kind of sign out here, and I'm sure Coleman will have some remarks, but we do run this quite actively. It's Metal Gear Solid 5 Stealth, No Kills, Normal, New Game Plus. You can check us out on the speedrun.com leaderboards if you're interested in running, and I guess if you have anything else to add, that's all I had to say.
Nothing much, just
Leaving already? I'm gonna miss having a guy like you around.
I hope this game gets in, because I think it's only been ran there one time, and was it a bonus game? I'm not sure.
I believe so, and it didn't cover all the missions.
But the final, and I forgot to mention that timer stops at the final result screen first fade in. frame. But yeah, I really hope that we get this in. I think it makes for an entertaining run. It's very high octane for your high octane players. And plus, there's so much to talk about. Honestly, like it's 30 minutes of just talking about everything that goes into this run. And there is, and I didn't mention it, but there is time for donation, and that would be during the side-scroller mission, which was the third one, where we rescued Kojima. So there's plenty of time right there for. There's not much to talk about there, so there's plenty of time for donation shout-outs and stuff like that. So I feel like it's a good fit for GDQ, but that's up to you guys. But yeah, thank you for looking at my submission, and have a good day.